It's the Monday Morning Show, unscripted once again. Hi, I'm Ken LaSalle from kenlasalle.com, and I'm doing another one of these unscripted episodes where I just kind of babble on and on until we hit the 15-minute mark. Actually, I don't even know if I'll be able to get to 15 minutes. And you're about to find out why. So, what have you been up to? I am presently working on the next book in the Work of Art series. If you haven't picked up Work of Art, An Intention of Flowers, it's available on, well, everywhere. And also outlining the Max Dedge radio serial coming later next year. So that's what's going on in my life. But also, I've been doing an awful lot of hiking. We are seriously in hiking weather now, and there's no way I'm going to there's no way I'm not going to get out there and hike in it. It's just gorgeous out there. Last weekend I was at Black Star Canyon in Orange County, hiking out there. Actually, it was 2 weeks ago. Black Star Canyon. And then I went down to the PCT and hiked from Warner Springs to Eagle Rock. And if you're a fan of the PCT, if you've been out there, you probably know how beautiful it is. If you haven't, and you have a chance to get out there, you really should. That section, at the very least, is great for anyone. I wouldn't say it's an easy hike, but it's simple. It's a very direct hike. There's not a whole lot of having to find your way or anything. The trail is pretty straight, well marked, and so on. So I was out there a couple weeks ago, and this coming up weekend, actually in just 2 days, I'm going to be out on Mount San Jacinto, taking the tram up and then hiking, well, as far as I can go. That's altitude sickness territory, so who's to say how far I'll make it? But I'm going to give it a shot, because there's really no better time to get out there and hike. The temperatures are going to start dropping soon, and we're going to start getting some wicked weather, whatever wicked weather we get. In Southern California, that could be either Santa Ana winds, heat. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I wanted to talk about 3 things to remember on your next hike. I think that's what I'm calling this. This actually occurred to me when I was out on the PCT a couple weeks ago, stopping and talking with people, and saying hi, and just out there, out in the beauty of the desert. And so, 3 things to remember on your next hike. Number 1, walk slower. I know that sounds a little bit weird for a hike, to intentionally not get there sooner, wherever there is that you're trying to get to. But one of the things that I have learned as a hiker that I need to do, that is good for me to do at least, is to go slower and spend more time out on the trail. You know, for me, for many years, whenever I would hike, my only focus was the destination. I would plan my route. I would make my plan for the day. And then I would miss everything between point A and point B. I would just hustle along and not really take the time to appreciate everything on the way. And then, of course, I would make myself tired. I would crash. My energy level would crash. And the hike back would be a pain in the ass because I was so tired. I learned this when hiking the PCT the first and second time I went out there. It is a constant lesson that I've had to learn many times before it finally sunk in. And that is that if I rush through the hike and if I don't enjoy the hike, what's the point? I mean, the point out there when you're out on the trail isn't just to get there and get home. It's to be there. So my plan to get more comfortable just being out there is to slow down. Slow down a whole lot. I used to time my breaks. I'd be like, I'll take a 15-minute break. Now, I don't time my breaks. I'm not on the clock when I'm out on the trail. As far as I'm concerned, if I want to sit and enjoy a view, that's what I'm going to do. And if I feel extra ambitious and I want to climb like crazy and go really fast to get somewhere, well, I'll think twice about it. But as long as I'm taking my time and I just have a sudden burst of energy and it's not like not coming from some neurotic place where I've just got to get going, then fine. But it's that neurotic voice in the back of my head saying, hurry up. What are you doing enjoying yourself? Get over there. Get to your campground or to your, view or wherever it is that I'm going. I'm always telling myself, hurry up. And I really shouldn't hurry up. And neither should you. Take your time, walk slower, enjoy it. I think hiking for a lot of people is just about that. Just about hiking. Just hike. And hiking really should be about a lot more than just hiking. Hiking should be about stopping and enjoying the view. Hiking should be about smelling the air. It should be there's a lot of levels. There's a lot more to hiking than just the walk. And for many years, for me, it was just about the walk. And so I'm doing my best to back off from that and enjoy a little bit more of the life that I spend out on the trail. So that's number 1. Walk slower. Number 2, and I run into this a lot, but number 2 is be friendlier. And I say I run into this a lot because it always makes me sad when I meet somebody on the trail and I say hi to them or good morning or whatever, and they will have that closed off look. They will turn away from me and just keep walking, or they won't make eye contact, And it makes me really sad. Like, we're out there to, in effect, make our lives better. We're out there to enjoy our lives, to get away from the crap that's here and get out there and enjoy something that we don't get every day, which is nature. And also to enjoy each other. Right? To enjoy company, to meet strangers and to talk to them and find common ground and to build, at least for an afternoon, some kind of bond with someone that you've never met before, which I always think is great. When I was out hiking on the PCT a couple weeks ago, I ran into some ladies who were hiking just ahead of me, and then just behind me, and then just ahead of me. So we passed each other and we'd walk together, and it was a lot of fun because they had a different hiking experience than my own. They went to different places than I did, so they were able to tell me about different places, which is always fun. I think the people I meet the most who are unhappy on the trail, and I hate to say this, it sounds biased, it sounds bigoted in some way. But it doesn't come from a place of bias or bigotedness. But the people I meet who are less friendly, less likely to engage, tend to be women. And I can't help but think that might be because women on the trail end up getting a lot more shit than men on the trail. It's a lot easier as a guy to intimidate others so you don't have to worry about getting shit from anybody else. Like, if somebody gives me a hard time on the trail, I'm a big guy. It doesn't happen that often. But I have read enough and I have heard enough from women on the trail, and it's not good. So when I say good morning or greet a woman on the trail, I always keep in mind that odds are there's a chance she's not even going to respond. But all the same, I like people to know that big guy coming their way is friendly and neighborly and is on your side out there. You know, I always bring extra water and a first aid kit and my spot device and a little extra food, because you never know who you're going to run into out there. And heaven knows I have benefited from other people's kindnesses, so I really owe it to the hikers out there to be prepared to help them out should they need it. So be friendlier when you're out there. You know, we're all in it together when we're out on the trail. So why not be friends? Why not be friendly? It doesn't make sense to close yourself off. Or even worse, I see people, and this ends up being mostly guys. I see people out on the trail who just don't look like they're having a good time. I mean, it's one thing to be struggling, right? We've all done that on the trail. We've all been hiking and been in a bad place. You know, you're going up a hill and it's just taking forever, or you're slogging through mud, or there's a million different ways that the trail can be brutal. But then there's those people who are just unhappy on the trail. And that makes me really sad. It's mostly guys. They're mostly got this gruff look on their face. And I just think, you know, why? What's the point of having your defenses up all the time when you're out in the middle of nowhere? It's your opportunity to let go of everything and to just take in, you know? And it always makes me really sad to see people out on the trail who don't want to be on the trail, who would rather not be on the trail. You know, find the thing that stirs your passion. Find that thing that gets you going. And even if you're not very good at it, give it a try. That's what I've been doing with hiking and backpacking. And the jury's still out. I got to tell you, there are times when I think I'd be better off taking up needlepoint. But it's great to get out there. You know, when I go out to San Antonio this weekend, I'm going to be suffering. I'm going to be in a lot of pain. That altitude sickness, man, it is not a joke. It turns you inside out. And also, the hike at San Jacinto is just up. You just go up. And on the way back, you go down. But really, there's nothing easy about it. But will I be pissed off? Will I be wearing a scowl? God, no. I'm going to be out there having a great time, even if I'm struggling. And I will be struggling, but you can bet I'll be saying good morning to everybody. You can bet I'll be engaging and I'll be open, because that's what makes it fun. You got to take my word for it. So that's number 2, be friendlier. Now, number 3 is not something I would ever have. It's not something I would have ever thought I would be recommending to anyone. My whole life, every time I've gone hiking, I've done it without any distractions. I don't play with my phone. I don't have music on. No distractions. And I always get irritated by people who either are walking with a radio or with a speaker, and you can hear them coming from a mile away. You know, this thing is just blasting. And that's really, really irritating. And then you see the people who are wearing headphones. And you want to tell them there's a whole world out here to appreciate. And not to mention, you're sure you're going to be able to hear anything like a rattler, you know, etc., etc. And don't get me wrong, rattlesnakes are loud. It's really hard to miss them. But if I'm on a trail and there's a lot of undergrowth and there's a chance there could be a snake a foot from my foot, I want to have all of my senses ready just in case. But having said that, a couple weeks ago when I was hiking from Eagle Rock back to Warner Springs, on my way back on my hike, I got this notion, because I take an old iPod and headphones with me, And when I take a break, I like to pop in the music and just appreciate the scenery while listening to music. And so I did that, and I was turning around to head back, and that way back for the first mile or so is open ground. Like, you can see everything around you quite well. And I was walking back, and the wind was blowing pretty bad, and I really didn't want to just hear wind, and I knew I could see anything around me. So I thought, what the hell, I'll keep the headphones in, I'll keep the music on, I'll just walk until I get to some of that undergrowth, and then I'll take the headphones out. And would you know it, that was really nice. I had never given it a try, and now here I am suggesting that you might want to do it too. But, be smart. Don't do it if there's a chance that you need your ears, if you need to listen for animals, if you need to listen for people, or if you're somewhere and you need to listen for the sound of water or engines if you're looking for a road. Take your damn headphones out. But if you get a chance and you have a lot of open space or you're road hiking, I got to say, I really enjoyed it, and I'm very surprised because my whole life I was very much against it. But I can see that there are times when, maybe. So that's my 3 things that I wanted to suggest taking with you on your next hike. I do have one little bonus item. It's actually, it actually goes along with walking slower, and that is that you should give yourself more time simply to be, simply to exist. When I'm out on the trail, I always tell myself, you got to do this, constantly. Got to do this, got to do this, got to do this. Constantly reminding myself, either got to look out for this turn, got to remember to drink water, got to eat soon, got to remember to take a break, got to get to this point before I take a break, got to keep my eye out for this or that or the other. I mean, it's a constant narrative in my mind, and I can't help but think it would probably be the same for others as well. And one of my goals this year, as I hike in the 2019 to 2020 season, is to provide myself more time simply to be out there and turn my mind off, which isn't something that happens right away, so this could take some time. But just to sit and be, and not have any expectations about what the trip is going to be or what the trail's going to be like. Just to be, and just to be happy. That's got to be the reason that we're out there, right? I mean, we're not out there to do a job of any kind, unless we are, in which case, my apologies. But for the most of us, we're just out there to take it in, enjoy it, and change the pace, change the atmosphere, change the notion of our own lives. That we can be someone out there and not someone in here. Because we are different people when we're on the trail, and we should allow ourselves to be. It's a very different world with very different expectations and very different problems to solve. But we're never going to do that if we're not happy, if we're not enjoying ourselves. And so that's a little bit of my advice to you. I apologize for the stammered manner of my speech. I'm trying to get better at these unscripted, or as I said last episode, unplugged. I'm trying to get better at these unscripted episodes. But as you can probably tell, I'm still not the best at them. So I will endeavor to get better. And I hope you do too. As Jim Jeffries says, we can all do better. So that's it for me this week. And I hope to see you out on the trail. And until next time, be good to yourself, be kind to others, and let's make this world a better place.